Hi everybody, welcome to another edition of His Turn, Her Turn. I would be Paul Bryan. I'm the His Turn portion of this duo, and along with me,
I am Lauren Fix, the car coach. I am the Her Turn, and we are here in beautiful...
That's how we're identifying anyway.
Today. There'll be more on that coming up. We are here in Aspen, Colorado, with an opportunity to drive a very special vehicle, and that is the Jaguar XE.
We've been waiting for this car for a while.
And you should be waiting for it too, because I think you're going to be as impressed as we are. I think what's interesting about this vehicle is what they were able to put into it for the price point. And you're coming in like, this one is loaded. So when we drove a loaded car, you can get them starting at $34,995. But I think the key thing is not just the entry level, but the fact the maintenance is included. That Jaguar maintenance package is huge.
It's worth a lot of money.
Well, I own an Audi, I have to say. But I have to pay for my oil changes. And same thing is true with a lot of different manufacturers. But when you're offering that, oil changes can be $150 to $200. Start adding that up over the period of a 3-year lease. And these warranties go to 60,000 miles.
Yeah.
The competition does not have that.
No, it's really important when you're looking at a vehicle to look at not just the initial cost, but your overall operating cost while you own that vehicle as well.
This particular car is 70% aluminum. I think it's 70, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot. And what you're getting out of that is a well-balanced car that's light enough to give you good fuel economy as well. And they said 20 in the city, 29 on the highway, and combined like 23, 24. But I guess it depends how you drive. And if you drive like you and I, it's not slow.
Well, you know, and the other thing too that we got to take into consideration, there's two different ways that you can go in terms of power plant too.
Right.
You can either go with the V6, a petrol engine, a gasoline engine.
There's two different performance levels.
Yeah, and you've got that, or you can go with the diesel.
My favorite.
I
love
know.
diesel.
Yeah. So we were able to drive both. We're going to go out. Why don't we
let's take them along for a ride.
Let's go inside the car. We're going to do that. Drive a little bit over the Continental Divide.
Yeah,
and
that should be fun.
And then come back, and we're just going to look at a little water while you look where we were. This is a big job. This is a very big job for Jaguar. Why is this a big job? Because they're coming in with this new XE. The XE is Jaguar's 3 Series fighter. And you're talking about a car that is part of Jaguar's plan. With the addition of the XE and also the F-Pace, now they have become a full-line luxury, you know, a mainstream, if you will, luxury marketer. We've just basically gotten out of Aspen at this point, and it's taken us a while because the Aspen police rival the heady days of East Germany in terms of their adherence to speed limits. So we are really able to cook here at 45 miles an hour. I don't know if my pacemaker is going to be able to keep us going here. Nevertheless, some first impressions about this car. Seating position on it is exceptionally good. I kind of like, especially if you're a fan of the XJ, there's a line that goes from right here on this window line all the way around the front and comes around. And if you're a fan of boats at all or know any kind of boat history, you go back and look at Riva, the Italian boat manufacturer. Had very much those same lines, and they were usually done in really exquisite woods. And that is what Ian Callum was trying to emulate when he did this. And that's actually called the Riva line in this car, in the XE. So it gives a really, really different feel to the car when you sit down in it for the first time. Everything is laid out really, really well on this. I love the instrument panel. The controls were a little bit confusing for me at first, but you always got to remember that when we get into a car, we've got a fat 10 minutes in the car before we go ahead and start driving it. You as an owner, you're going to get in there and you're going to live with the car. You're going to know where everything is very instinctually. The nav system readouts, spot on. They are really, really good. Everything else is laid out very well. I wish I could tell you right now what it's like to crank it through a corner, because they've done an exceptionally great job in theory with the suspension system, with double wishbone suspension. You can adjust it any way that you want, and everything. I'd really like to crank this car. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be available, and we'll tell you about that later on. But nevertheless, first impressions, love this car. I'm going to love it more. This is going to be a good trip. I just hope that I don't have to put on a neck brace from these speeds that we have here.
Well, I definitely agree with Paul when it comes to seating comfort. Although they don't have massaging seats in this trim level.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Boo-hoo. If you're a bigger person, you're going to like the fact that there's room for you in this seat. It's not one of those seats you get in, it's like an NSX, you're like, oh my God, I'm sitting on the seat, not in the seat. You are sitting in the seat. So from a comfort standpoint, I think you're getting a very comfortable seat. It has lumbar, both sides. Yes, there is a God. But that's number one. Number two, visibility. And one of the things that Paul was talking about was visibility. But from my perspective, I'm looking at the rake of the windshield and the visibility across the front. And I am seeing really nice, broad visibility. Another thing I like, the window from, this is the A pillar and this is the B pillar. Great visibility here. Looking out the back, it's a little limited. Mind you, it is a coupe. It's not gigantic back, but there is a round view camera, there is side cameras, there is assisted park, there is, of course, regular mirrors.
Where
Yes.
did this coupe come from?
This coupe? What do you mean?
This has 4 doors.
It has 4 doors. It's a sedan.
You keep calling it a coupe.
It's a habit. It's a habit. I really am a huge fan of the very, very large navigation screen. And I really appreciate the fact that it's easy to use and you don't have to go through all these, this menu to this menu to that menu and slide back to this menu. It's very easy to use. Everything is right there. And the large screen, I think, is a big plus as well. As far as the gauges, everything is right here in front of you. Oh, and you just heard the forward alert. Isn't that cool? So it's saying, hey, you're going a little fast. You're kind of catching up on this guy in front of you. You can shut that off, but it's with the distractions that we all have every day, having these safety features available to you, especially with Jaguar offering literally everything possible, it's a great thing to have. You're buying a Jaguar in the $34,000 range with 24 different color choices. Oh, that's the really nice ones too. 12 different interior colors. There's 12 different wheel choices. I mean, I'm looking at this book this morning going, wow. One of the things I thought was absolutely hysterical, one of the options you can get is door sill plates that light up, which is normal, but you can have your name in it. So if your name is John Smith, your name will be permanently embossed in the sill plate that lights up on this car. So we should get one that says Paul Bryan.
If your name is Nikos Dimitrios Zaharopoulos, they're going to charge you more.
Yeah, I think so. But it's kind of cool that it's available. Like the extremely large sunroof, much bigger than that of the competitors. They don't have real sunroofs this huge. Backseat space is nice. Of course, it's going to be very similar to that of the 3 Series, the Audi and the Mercedes. I think they did an awesome job. I mean, not just from the design perspective, but the ride is comfortable. I mean, we're not driving it like a race car because we're driving at 55 miles an hour and we're driving at 25 miles an hour mostly.
Hey, Alfix, while you are driving this, I thought I would give a different perspective. Now we're supposed to be driving this. Here's how we
at 28 miles an hour.
At 28 miles an hour. Now, we're coming up here.
The cat's on the front. Wants to go out and play.
And it's not only on the front, it's on the inside too. And
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
When Ian Callum does a design, he wants to make sure that vehicle is Jaguar outside and inside.
It is. They did a great job.
Oh my God. I feel so honored to know this guy on the level that I do, because he's going to go down in history as one of the truly great designers in our time. Which, if you're in this segment and you're spending this kind of money for a vehicle, you want something that has some exclusivity to it.
Absolutely.
I want someone to say, gee, what is that?
Or you're driving a Jaguar?
And this,
nice.
Yeah, and this brings that factor to it.
It's a Jaguar.
It's okay, which is the 5th pronunciation, and so we've got that going for it. So it's something that you got to drive. Make sure you find your way to your local Jaguar retailer.
Right, and then subscribe. Hit that button above. You can see all the videos we have, not just on Jaguars, but literally everything that's out there. Some fun other information. And of course, we love your comments.
We do.
We do.
So,
I read them all.
So
really.
put them. I read them too, and we'll reply.
We'll
just write down here. We put them here, and we write back.
And we'll put all the details, and we won't regurgitate horsepower and torque and all. All that's going to be down below. Feel free to read it. If you drive one, take it for a ride. If you own another type of Jaguar, take it, give us some comments. We love your feedback.
All right, you can find me at thepaulbryan.com. That got settled out.
That's easy. That's your all forms of social media.
Exactly. The Paul Bryan is where you can find me on Twitter. It's thepaulbryan.com on the internet.
And the Motor Minute.
And the Motor Minute as well, which is the secondary brand.
Yes, and I am Lauren Fix. You can find me at laurenfix.com. That's all forms of social media. Sign up for that newsletter. You'll get some great information, what's going on in the industry. Follow me on Twitter. I have a lot of followers, and I do retweet your content. Thank you so much for your comments.
Yep.
And of course, you can also find me at CarSmarts and on Instagram as We Drove What, along with Lauren Fix.
All right. Thanks for being with us once again. Thanks to the Jaguar people for
Check out that
having us
F-Pace
out
video
here.
as well.
And also look for the Jaguar F-Pace. They've got another contender.
We got a lot of Jag reviews, so if you're thinking about a Jaguar, check out some
Even if you're not thinking about Jaguar, you need to start thinking about Jaguar.
Absolutely.
That's the thing. This is going to be about conquest sales.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Take care. How do you not fall in love with this car? This is a really...
Love it. Isn't that cool? The shifter knob comes up, and then when you shut the vehicle down, it goes away. Now we drive the diesel, my favorite of the Jaguar XE. 25.
Oh, it's 25. Holy shnikes.
It's a $250 ticket if you screw up.
3 guys yesterday on this trip, or 2 days ago rather.
3 journalists just lost everything they made.
They got tagged $250 a whack for their entry
indiscretion
into the 26-mile-an-hour zone.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, here's a turn. Okay, we'll time it through the turn with a sundial. Nevertheless, holy shnikes, 55 miles an hour.
Wait a minute. Let me put my foot on the gas. Here we go. It goes. Oh, wait,
Yeah,
wait, that's a little bit fast. I better slow down. There's probably a cop around the corner around here.